The technologies that come to mind when we think of digital transformation are clearly mobile, because digital transformation is very much about mobile applications, mobile access to data, and using many mobile devices. Then another technology that's very important for digital transformation is around social, because we're using social platforms to communicate internally amongst employees, but also with customers and partners, to really have this real-time interaction and dialogue with each other. And then another technology is big data and analytics, to really analyze the data that we generate on the mobile devices, on the social platforms, and to understand small nuances in customer behavior in real time, and to react to it in real time as well. But then there are also two infrastructure technologies that are really important. And first and foremost, it's actually around security and compliance. Because if we cannot make secure applications for digital transformation, then users will not trust them and they will not be successful. And then last but not least, it's cloud computing, because cloud computing is really the foundation for digital transformation, to provide ready access to IT resources. Cloud computing is really the foundation for digital transformation, because if you have implemented a cloud model, either internally or using public cloud services, then you can provide ready access to IT resources as soon as the developers need them. And you can develop new applications much faster and bring them to market much faster than if you have to wait for the traditional IT infrastructure provisioning process to complete. So cloud models are really important also for the developers, because they want API-based access to IT infrastructure. They don't want to be the experts on storage, servers and networking, and that is what cloud can give them. So it's for the provisioning, and it's for the developer communities. If IT managers want to create a strong foundation for digital transformation by using cloud services, what they really need to do right now is to build a strong hybrid cloud model, and to manage a multi-cloud world, because most organizations, they have a multitude of public cloud services implemented, plus they have probably their internal private cloud, and they need to really integrate that into one coherent model, so that they can provide one unified self-service catalog to their users, and make it really transparent to the users where the infrastructure is, because the user doesn't really care if it's on-premise resources or public cloud resources that he's using, as long as it's under the corporate governance model and it works for them. So multi-cloud and hybrid cloud is definitely the first point that IT managers need to master. The second point is then around creating access to data as a service models as well. So it's not just about software as a service or platform as a service or infrastructure as a service, but the next important part to integrate is really data as a service. And we expect that there will be data stores or stores for data as a service services, just like we know them from app stores, for example, where you can choose which data resources you want to add to your process or to your services. So that's the second point. And the third point that I would recommend is to really focus on the developers and on communities, because the developers are the ones that are really driving the requirements for IT infrastructure and for cloud services right now. They need API-based access to IT infrastructure, and that's really what cloud computing can give them. But they are not the only important aspect to cloud computing and digital transformation. The other one is really around communities and industry clouds, because we see that many organizations that traditionally have not been IT providers, they are now turning into cloud providers in their own industries, if they are really at the forefront of development and deployment of cloud services in their own industry. So we have seen that, for example, GE Capital or GE is a very prominent example that have turned their IT infrastructure that was optimized for handling data for machines and production systems, and have launched the Predix Cloud and made it available for any organization that really handles this kind of data. So So that is one of the other important aspects where you can actually create a new revenue stream through your own digital transformation by becoming an industry cloud provider.